Hey, 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 hey. Everything I planned to do today in this live just changed because my Wi-Fi decided it doesn't want to connect at all this morning. I don't have time for it. This afternoon, I don't have time for it. I'm not gonna play with it. I'm not going to sit and hold myself to it. I'm not gonna get aggravated by it. I'm like, I'll just keep moving. So I put it on my phone, and of course, I know that means my phone will probably ring because I am on a live on my phone. And of course, so if I get any just sudden pauses where I just freeze up a little bit, my phone rang and I'm ending it. So it'll take a second for it to pull me out and push me back in. But let's say some what's up. Good morning, Emma Lou. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Emma Lou. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sis. Another trip around the sun. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to celebrate this birthday with you. I am so glad to be a part of the people showing you love and giving you respect and appreciating the day that you were given to the world. So I'm so happy with many more to share with you, my friend. So happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I say, how did both my minds end up with August birthdays and number three in them? And three is one of my lucky numbers. So I know it's meant to be our relationships. So happy birthday, Emma Lou. Happy birthday. We love you, sis. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Emma Lou. You know, the third of every month for me is Mod Appreciation Day. And how great for Mod Appreciation Day to come on a day of appreciating one of my mods just because it's her birthday and this is her day every year. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all again for being you. I don't know how to change the words I'm going to say. I want to thank you for having your hearts, for living the lives you've lived so that you can be the people you are today. I love that your energy is good and it's true. Your heart is soft and it's pure. And I love that about you. Does that mean that you never made a mistake, never had a flaw, never did nothing wrong? I don't even think about that. I just think that in this journey, I'm very happy to have you all by my side. I'm very grateful to have you all, not only on my team for this here channel, but just in my life. I really appreciate you all. And it's you all. And let me tell you all something. I apologize, guys. I told you my phone is only going to ring because I am on here. I kid you not. That's so annoying to me. And I don't want to put my phone on do not disturb because there are things that I don't want to miss a call if they come through, and it's just annoying. But anyway, um, I'm thankful for you all. I'm thankful for your energy. Like I said, your love, your respect for everyone. I'm thankful that it's not that you're doing what I want you to do. You're being who you are, and that's good enough for me. Like I said, we all are light, all of us are a light. And so I thank you for your lights. I really do. Much appreciation to you both. Um, you definitely set the standard for me in my mind. So thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, Susan, for being here for me from the moment I drew you a wrench. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you, Emma Lou, for coming in. And it's like you've been here since day one because I couldn't imagine what I'd be without you too. So thank you. I appreciate you. I salute you. I honor you and I respect you. So we'll get that out the way. Now, hey, everybody. Marianne, hey, sis. Hey, sis. How you doing? Nino says, hey, everybody. He says, how y'all doing? You know he a mess. You know he a mess in fur. He a mess in fur. I tell you that much. He is something else. And I kid you not, they just called me from the job to see if I want to come in earlier and I guess leave earlier. I just no, I'm not even gonna get myself concerned with that right this second. I'm really not. I'm really not. But yeah. So how's everybody doing on this Wait. I kid you all not. If he calls, I'm gonna lose my mind. I mean, my phone has not. Well, actually, 5 minutes before I went live, my phone began to ring back to back to back to back, and that's why I was thinking, please, Lord, don't let my Wi-Fi act up because I see my phone is very busy this afternoon, and of course, my Wi-Fi was like, nope, I just don't feel like being a part of this live today. I don't care to be a part of it, and so, but here we are, but I'm here and it's not going to distract me. But yeah, how's everybody doing on this Wednesday? How are you doing? How's it going? What are you doing? Right, right. I'm like, I'm in demand for nothing. I mean, they just call it. But you know, on those times when you like wish the phone would ring like that, like you wish somebody would call right now, you wish you were just like holding a conversation with somebody, and then the phone never rings. You know, no one calls. No one's thinking about you. No one shoots you a text. No one's in your emails, you know. But then when you're like, oh, I'm booked and busy, I don't even have time to say hello. And it's like, ring, ring, beep, 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 message. You say, wait a minute, what's going on? What is going on? But yeah, so I was like, let me come on here and let's see how everybody's doing. Let's chit chat. Oh my goodness, guys. I am really going to have to do some uploads on some of these TV shows because it doesn't, everybody may not watch them, but I just like, have to spit this out. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to do is some uploads on like some of the things I've been watching because they have woken things inside of me because I am a TV fanatic. And so many things on TV, just like I don't deny that I am a YouTube fanatic because I think some people pretend as if they're on here lots of times a day and they go to different places and they get invested and get involved and get concerned, but then say they're not really that deep into YouTube. You're deep. You're in deep. You're already in. You're in the pool. You're in the pool. You're in the pool. You must know you're in the pool already. You're swimming. Um, but yeah, so the thing is, it's like I watched some of these shows. Like I watched Ready for Love's first episode last night, and I so bad wanted to come and just do a little upload because I had so much to say about the cast and about because I've watched every season of the show since the beginning. And like last season, I felt like it was just a whole bunch of opportunists on there and future actors and future models or social media people who want to be influencers on social media or whatever. But I didn't see people really looking for love. Like it really seemed like it was kind of that's not what they're looking for. They're looking to stay on the show. They're looking to make it to the end. But I didn't see love really last season. So this season I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch it. And then this season it started. And I'm like, okay, it's good. And then of course, Flowers in the Attic ended this weekend. Great freaking series led me to watching the movie. So I have so much to say, especially about like the movies and where it goes off into, and how just watching those 4 episodes puts so much explanation into the movie. Because one thing I learned, I don't know if anyone in here, when DVDs came out and they would put like the director's cut in, or they would put a version. Sometimes when you get a DVD, there would be a disc in there that gave would show the movie, but they would break down stuff to you little. So the movie that I most remember that going on with for me, where it enlightened me a lot, was something to do with Mary and how they had to shorten. Oh, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me let my son in. Of course, me trying to work out the room. But anyway, they show like all this stuff that you didn't see going on, and they gave you all these explanations because the movies would be 4 or 5 hours long if they broke down everything that they had in the director's cut or and all that. So there's always a lot missing. So you kind of like, wait, how did they get there? How were they married? How did this happen? How did that happen? But it's always cut out. So when you do movies like the 4 episodes they did, you can leave it on the counter. I'm about to go down there. You do movies like what they just did with the Lifetime movie of Flowers in the Attic. Oh, mosquito bit me, and I just scratched the mosquito bite. Oh, I can't stand doing that. But yeah, when they do the cuts and stuff like that, it lets it lets you know the stuff you didn't know. It answers those questions that you might not have asked or you were asking and you wanted to figure out, like, who was that guy? Why did they show that guy? Who was that lady? What did it mean when they said so? I just love having more insight to a show or a movie and then going back and watching it. So that has been real great that I was watching. It's been a couple of things. I've been watching some new things. Um and then some of the other shows I watch, like I said, I love to go and get my either go to the to Heidi's page and hear her and Debbie talk about it. Go listen to Debbie and Jamal talk about it, and so like I said, it's all these places that you could go to and hear about these other shows. But then there's some shows that I'm just like, even if there are people out there talking about it, I just want to give like a 5 to 10 minute, not even a review, like what I thought about it, what I think about people who I don't see making it, who I see making it. So I definitely want to do that. Like we're Ready for Love, and I definitely like, oh, Flowers in the Attic. Like to talk about it, it's like you got to talk about the movies too. Like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So I still have to watch the fourth installation of the movies because I didn't see that one. But yeah, so good. I can talk about it all night, guys. First two books were amazing. And Marianne, my mom is like real big on reading. Her and my sister are such avid readers. They are, really into reading books. And my mom doesn't like horror or violence at all on the screen, but she can watch it, like she can read it. She can read it all day. And so my mom, I always remember when Cujo came out, and my mom said, "Oh no!" And Cujo, the young man, died. The little boy, he passes away. You know what I mean? He doesn't make it. But when they make movies, sometimes they're so worried about what the people are going to say. Because, sometimes people are like, why didn't you kill the villain? Why didn't you kill the villain? And sometimes people are like, why did you kill the villain? He could have got better. He'd be like, I don't know how to make these people happy. So sometimes I think they soften up the movie, or like The Color Purple. I had saw that movie a million times. And then when I went to see the play, when they brought it to Broadway, when I went to see the play, um, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't get this part out the movie, but because once again, the movie's always different than the book. The book is more deeper. They can actually say all that stuff. So I think when they brought out Flowers in the Garden, it was like, okay, I don't think we want you all to really dig too deep into what it is, but this is all that was really going on. So now we're in a new time where you can say more or tell more, not to say that everybody's going to agree, but you can give out more. So, oh, I love it. Oh yeah, reading is a good thing. There's nothing against. Like I said, it's just with my attention deficit. I really need to make sure I read things that my attention is in, because if I don't, I'm just reading words, and so there's no I'm not getting any context really out of it. I'm just reading a bunch of words on the thing. And sorry guys, I had a mosquito bite on my leg, and it's so much, and I scratched it. And you know how you scratch off the mosquito bite? And I was like, uh-oh, let me clean this. Yeah, if it's not one thing, I'll tell you, it's another. It's another. But yeah, books are great. And sometimes though, you want to read the book. Like, you really need to read the book, because if they don't do a show that breaks it down, you don't get all the details. So it's like, if I'm not reading the book, I'm not going to get, because the book has time to break down every character for you as they introduce it, to give you a background, to give you their little side story. So that's why for me, even in one of my things in my ideas of producing television shows or movie, I always want to kind of start backwards. So I want to start from where it's at and then take you to how we got there. Because otherwise, sometimes you're lost. You ever watch the show and they started off, oh, everybody's rich, they're this, they're this, they're this. Then you look at season 3 and we're back to how they got rich and you're lost because you're like, wait, they're broke? Did they just get broke? Did this happen? Or they jump time so much that you're like, wait a minute. Like I loved Parks and Recreations, right? But then on that last season, they like jump up 12 years. And I'm like, wait a minute. What just happened? I mean, how did we do that on a comedy show? Like, how did you? It was like a soap opera. On a soap opera, they're pregnant this season. And then next season, the child is grown. And you're like, wait a minute. She was just pregnant last season. She hasn't aged 1 year, but this child is age 25. I always notice that on soap operas. Like, whoa, those kids are aging way faster than their parents. Say, how is she 40 already? And you just gave birth to her. But yeah, but other than that, guys, I haven't really been on anything. Yesterday, I was getting ready to go to work, and luckily they hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. I keep getting distracted. And if I go put this card down somewhere, I won't know where I put it. So let me put it up. Sorry, guys. I really hate when my phone keeps ringing, when I keep getting distracted to do a live. And I swear to you all, when I'm not live, nothing is going on in my life. No, nothing is going on. But yeah, yesterday I was getting ready to go to work. They called and said, "Oh, you work Saturday, so you don't have to work today." I said, "Oh, well, great." So I didn't have to work. So I did a lot of strolling through YouTube, stopping to give some love, watching some things, watching Flowers in the Attic 3. I did. And then I went to bed early, but then I woke up at like 2, had to go to the bathroom, and then I ended up being up to like 3 something. So then that threw me off to waking up later today. And yeah, that's really about it. So I got up. It's just too busy today for me. And sometimes that messes with my anxiety. So that there's a family outside camping in the parking lot. There's just so much going on. It has Nino anxious, it has me anxious, and it has my anxiety up. So anytime anything doesn't have order or control, like, oh, I'm so anxious. Oh, why is this going on like this? Why is this? That is my day in a nutshell. Well, so far. And then, like I said, they were calling to say come in early, but then they called back to someone else was coming in early and just come do the shift I was gonna do. And that's it. And then I have no problems with riding the bus. I've been riding the bus since I was 8 years old. Like the bus is nothing to me. But you have to get yourself mentally prepared to get on it because one, today is a very hot day. So you're gonna have lots of people who are literally only on the bus for air conditioning. Then the young people are out, so they're always on the bus, acting like no one raised them with any common sense. And I know they did have common sense, and I know that people want them to do better, but they're on the bus and they're just, I don't know, a lot. They're not even doing anything bad and disrespectful. They're just loud and sometimes annoying. You know, that's probably like the worst thing they're doing is being annoying. But I always get myself mental because literally when I'm on there, I'm not watching something. I just sit in the if I'm not watching something, if I'm not watching something on YouTube or Netflix or something like that while I'm on the bus, I'm listening to music and playing the video game. Like that is hello. That's literally what I'm doing while I'm on the bus. I'm walking down the hall, guys. So of course, I turn the camera off because there's always going to be people who did not ask to be on camera walking past. So I have to respect them. But yeah, yeah. So it's just today, and then today is like, oh, for all you all who have had those heat waves, God bless you for being able to make it. Today it's 100 degrees outside, and it's very humid. And then, when it's real humid and there tries to be a breeze and it's blowing hot air, I'm like, oh, please don't even blow hot air. I cannot stand the feeling of hot air blowing on me. Like, oh, it's like when the air goes out during a rainstorm, it's real hot, and everything blowing through your house is hot air. It's like, oh, yuck. It makes me feel worse. So I'm like, oh, of course, yesterday. Now, yesterday was pretty warm, but it had a nice breeze. So by nighttime, it felt beautiful. Some people might have said it was cool, but it was beautiful at nighttime. And, but today, yeah, it's nothing about it that's fun. I'm glad that I don't have to be there till 6 o'clock because that gives it some time to, well, the sun's getting ready to start setting. So it's not at its peak. It's not as hot. So it makes it a little bit better. And then when I get off, it'll be nighttime, so it'll be cooler. But the time flies by, from 6 to 11:30 flies by. Well, it'll have these moments of flow. Is it me or like that first hour you get to work? Each minute feels like an hour, and then that last hour of work seems like an eternity. You're like, oh my God, why is it so long? Or is that just me, guys? Is that me? Because I feel like the last hour of work. Oh, hold on, somebody left their keys outside. Hold on, I'll be looking for this. Hold on, guys. Hey, buddy, somebody left their keys outside just in case they come looking for them. But yeah, what's I saying? Sorry, I always think when someone loses something, I always think of turning it in. And it always reminds me of one day I was at Navy Pier with my kids, and I had some other kids. So I had like 6 kids with me at Navy Pier. And I kept moving and grooving and moving and moving. And I end up putting my phone down in the bathroom, walking out, we're looking around. And something, oh, I went to call somebody's mom to ask a question. Was it okay if we did something? And I went to call, and I'm like, wait, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Now you have all these kids with you. Oh my God. So now we're like trailing back to the last exhibit we went to in the Children's Museum. We're going to all these places. I'm going over in the Children's Museum where they had this playing area where I was actually on the ground, like playing with the kids and stuff. And I'm like, I had to drop it in there. Then I remember the last time I had it was when we were in the bathroom. Or the last time I saw it was in the bathroom. So I run to the bathroom. It's not in there. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I have all these kids. I don't have a phone. Just by luck, something will happen. And so something said, well, go to, like the service desk and go there, like, and ask them. And I went and someone had turned it in. And like you all, it was an iPhone. It's when, iPhones, it's probably when iPhone was at iPhone 5 or 6. And it was probably a 6. And I just knew somebody normally would have took it, but they didn't. And I was like, that is such a good sign on humanity, that sometimes people are going to take it. But when they do, so every time I see something, if I'm in the store and I see something on the ground, I remember once I saw a purse and jewels in the parking lot. Somebody left it right at the front of the cart. And at first I said, I'm just gonna leave that purse right there and then hopefully run back and get it. And then I said no, because somebody else might see it and take it. So then I just went to the bottom of the cart. So I wasn't even up at the top by the purse. I pulled that cart all the way back into the door. I walked dead up to customer service, said this cart was left out in the parking lot, and there's a whole purse in the front of it. That was it. Like, I don't care what you had and it wasn't mine. Sorry, I'm reading your comments. 102. I'm telling you, Susan, I do not like the hundreds, period. Like, so 100, 99, 102, definitely not no 112, 115, all bad. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't even want to live in a place where it gets that high. Yes, because those nights when you had that beautiful breeze where it's not cool, but if you open your window, it just lets this different air inside. Like I love nights like that. I do. If you all can hear the thunder, let me turn on this real quick so you can see. Of course, I'm outside. There's people outside, but as you can see, it's getting real gray outside. It's about to rain. Oh, yeah, but up here in the front, you either have people outside smoking, you got people who sit down here and eat in the front. Because I guess because there's a table down here, they figure, hey, well, this is close as I get to eating like at a table, so it's always people in the front, especially in the daytime. At night, it's really not people in the front. Yeah, you do. You always think that. I remember my sister was going to get an apartment. This was years ago. We were young, and she had all the cash. She had got the cash to take to go and put, pay her security, first month, last month rent. She had about 4 grand on her, and I kept telling her, "Stop carrying that everywhere you go, and stop carrying that everywhere you go." And actually, the restaurant I work in now, she went in there to get something to eat because her sugar dropped. She went to get something to eat, put the envelope down on the table, guys. Now it was closed, but it was one of those like Chase envelopes where they give you the cash and it's in that little envelope. She left it on the table. She walked out, we were crossing the street. She said, "Oh my God, my money!" We turned around to run back across the street. And when we did, as we walked in, there was a man passing it to them at the register. Now, who knows? They could have took it from the bag. It's a lot of cash, and money's a temptation for some people. It is because they always a thing like don't let something be going on with them that has a price tag because they'll swear that money came into their life because of that. Like, oh, the reason why that money came around me because it knew I had to pay my light bill. No, that's not. It's not gonna take from somebody else to give you. Y'all hear that thunder? You hear it? It's about to go down, and which also means that my job is gonna be pretty empty if it's pouring down rain. It's gonna be pretty empty. I mean, the drive-through will always have people, but it's gonna be pretty slow. You do, you do. That's why sometimes people are just like, "Oh, I'm not even gonna turn it in. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave it right there. That'll be on them. That'll be what they do." You know what I mean? Yeah, just like I said, I knew earlier we were gonna get a storm because earlier, maybe about 9:30, it was beautiful. The sky was real blue. But if you looked a little further down, you just saw all these thick gray clouds. I said, "Oh, they're gonna start moving." And you saw them kind of floating over, moving around. I said, "Hmm." And then when I went out at noon, it wasn't as light, but it wasn't as dark as it is now. But I said, "Oh, that means we're gonna have a good old storm." But I don't leave until 4 o'clock, so hopefully, if it does rain by 4, it stops. I really hope it does. Otherwise, y'all know I'm gonna have a change of clothes because I don't wear wet clothes. I do not do wet clothes. Wet clothes. I have Danny calling and saying, "Hey, y'all, uh, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Can you do it? I ain't gonna be able to do it." Oh, y'all need rain. It seems like once a week we get just a stormy day. Last week we had it where it stormed all morning and then it didn't during the day, but then it rained all night. Then we had a couple of weeks ago where we had that real bad storm that actually took out the power in some suburbs, Westchester. They were hit. They were hit like we got a tornado. Windows were blown out of businesses. Uh, yeah, and now it's raining. It's raining, but I'm sitting under the thing, but it's raining. It's actually raining out there. And so, but there's a little breeze coming with that rain. I'm like, oh, let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. It feels good. It feels good. Now, I'm sure it doesn't feel good to people walking in it, but I don't know because sometimes when it's hot like this and you get a little shower, you kind of glad to have gotten it. Like, oh, I'll take that wet because when it's real hot, I'll walk through your sprinkler. I will because when it's real hot, you'll get your clothes wet, but they dry instantly. Like if you're in an amusement park and you get a little wet and it's 100 degrees outside, you walk around for 15 minutes and you wish you were wet again because you're like, oh my God, did we dry up that quick? It's so hot out. Have you ever been so hot outside? You get out the pool, hair soaking wet, and within minutes your hair is dry. And you're like, it's too hot outside. I should not have my hair dry that fast. Oh yeah, I do a rain dance. I know y'all ready to do a rain dance to get some rain. Y'all need some rain out there too, because y'all on what day 35? of triple digits, day 36. You all about to break your own record. 'Cause what is your record? 39 days in the triple digits, and you all are like at day 36. I was watching a YouTuber. I watched the Trey Show, and he's been, well, this is his third video on the situation. So there was this lady, I believe it was in Georgia or in Florida. I don't remember exactly where it was, but anyway, this guy came up, this TikToker, famous TikToker, popular TikToker. He comes up, he sees her, she's supposedly homeless. He gives her like $500 to help her out. Then somebody comes out and says, "Hey, she's faking it. She's not homeless. She just goes out and begs at Walmart every day," and da 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 da. And when I first heard it, I thought to myself, well, I know something's going on if you'll take your kids in the hot Georgia or Florida heat and sit outside in a parking lot and beg for money all day for them, something's going on. So the guy ends up going to the lady's apartment. She does have an apartment, and she basically explains to him that when she fills out her public aid, when she fills out for her children at school, she has to apply as they are homeless. But then she made a statement like, "And besides, if I didn't pay my rent, I'd be homeless." Who wouldn't? If any of us didn't pay our rent, we'd be homeless. I mean, you didn't pay your mortgage, you might lose your home. So if you don't pay your taxes, you can lose your home. Any of us would be in that situation if that's the case. And hey, Samantha, hey, sis. And so the TikToker gives her 3,000, like, "Hey, we just want to help you pay some bills." And he set up a GoFundMe for her. Well, the GoFundMe raised like $20,100, and he didn't give it to her. So he does an interview. He does an interview on like the Shade Room, one of the big ones. He does an interview on there and it's like, "Well, I needed to see that she was doing the right thing before I gave her that money. In reality, it's 20,000 ain't even no real money. It's no money to me. But if it's no money to you, then give it to her." And when you saw her and you met her, she was sitting in a parking lot with her baby. Her baby was so young, she had him in one of those carriers that you carry your baby on the front of you. She had him in one of those. And then her other child was like 5 or 6. But I mean, it's not like you met her like he said on his thing. It's not like you met her at work. You met her outside begging. But now you have all these rules to give her the money. But I think the reason people raised up 20,000 was because she was in the situation she was in. So it's just like it's so funny. It's like, okay, so even if you said she was scamming, then you scammed her. Oh, the things people do. My day is going okay, Samantha. It's not it's weird because like I said, I woke up early this morning at like 2:30 this morning. I was up to about 5. And then I fell back asleep. And so it threw my day. So it feels like it should be later, but I know it's earlier because I got up so early. But because I got up that early and started my day, I feel like the day is just going in such slow motion. It's like, what is going on? This day is going so slow. But I have to go to work at 6. So that means I have to leave out of here um, about 4. Because if I leave at 4, I'll get there about 5:30. I like to get there early. I just hate rushing. I hate getting angry because you miss a bus. But then last week, my bus that was supposed to come at 4:20, it didn't pull up until 5, like 15. It was so late. That's the only thing about the Pace bus out here. They usually run once an hour during rush hour. They'll run twice an hour. But sometimes, even I've noticed that when they're supposed to run twice an hour, sometimes one of the buses in that hour, when it's delayed, they just push it to the side like it doesn't exist. But then it throws off anybody who needed that middle bus. So if you take off the 4:15, hey, can I get a fork? A fork? Yes. If you take off the 4:15 bus, for me, you're gonna make me late because now I'm taking a 5 o'clock bus, and my other bus was at 5:10, and it's no way to thank you, and it's no way to get to it. You know, so that's what I don't like about Pace. But when you get on Pace these days, some of them are so nice. You're like, did they take a? It's almost like they took a tour bus and turned it into a Pace bus. That's why that day I had those pictures of the pay, and I was on the pace, and they had leather seats that reclined a little bit. I said, "Wait, how am I reclining on the bus? I don't want to recline on the bus. I don't want to get so comfortable and sleep on the bus." So you said your day's been really busy, Samantha. What you been doing? Did you have to work today, or you just been doing a lot of running? Sometimes I feel like my days off, whenever I work, seem like they're more busier than my days working. I know that may sound weird, but some days on your day off, I just want to sit still. I don't want to do anything. But I swear, like if the kids are young, that's the day you gotta do this, do that. For me, it was like, okay, I'm normally working during the week, so if I had a day off on a weekday, I wanted to be more present, like with school. So it's like, okay, I'm not gonna let them walk home today. I'm gonna go ahead and pick them up. But then you'd be like, oh, I should just let them walk home because they walk home every day. But then this mother part of me would be like, but you're not there every day, so you're there today, so you need to go ahead and pick them up. And I swear, when you're picking kids up from school or they have after school programs, I feel like there's never a break. You'll be like, okay, I'm going to drop them off at school. I'm going to go to the store, wash your load, start dinner, and you'll just look up. You've done two things, and you look up and it's like, oh my God, I have to go get them in an hour. And then my kids would, one might get out. They might all get out at 2:30, but somebody might have something at the school at 3:30, which means we need to come back up there. And then somebody else had something somewhere else. Like my daughter had dance at a whole different place at 3:30. So then you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have to drop my son off a few minutes early because the kids are gonna be playing outside, and I'm gonna have to leave him and then drop her off. And then once I drop her off, his program's only an hour, so I'm gonna be sitting out there to get him. And then we have to literally run from getting him to go pick her up. And I just used to feel like, oh, I never have enough time to do anything. I'm always running out of time. That's how I used to feel all the time. Oh, hospital stuff is always stressful. I'm the type, I get stressed even when I have to visit people in the hospital because as soon as I'm walking through, I just think about the people who don't get visited. I think about the people who did not come in there and expect to be, because I've been to the hospital for one thing and found out something totally different was going on. You know what I mean? You're like, wait a minute. So I gotta stay? Always something going on. It never stops. It never stops. It's like, when do I get a break? And I tell you, it's like all of us, not just me, not just you, all of us. You're like a superwoman. It's like I'm always doing something. But did you ever notice when you're always doing something, you feel like life is empty when you don't have anything to do? When there's too much free time? You feel like the people who you be like, they'll never stop working. They're always going to work. And it's because when they're not working, they feel like they have too much idle time. They're not really taking care of business. They're not doing what they need to do. So they always feel that way. So it's like they have to have work in their life, you know, just like when you have all the kids. No, no, thank you, sir. It's just like when you have all the kids in your house and you're always doing something, you're always cooking, you're always picking up. And though you're complaining every day about having to pick up behind somebody and having to do this and having to do that, when it's empty and it's quiet and there's nothing there, sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, I need to do something. I'm so used to this keeping me busy. Okay, okay. So this is a annual procedure he has to have done. Well, if it keeps him good and keeps that heart going good and keeps him updated with what's going on with his heart, that's a good thing. I'm so glad that he made it through the heart attack. Definitely in our thoughts and prayers. Definitely, definitely. Let's not forget about our sister Colleen with the K also. Let's keep sending healing vibes for her to get better and better every day. And all of us, let's just send strength and love because we need it. Nino, I'm trying to figure out why you're getting so excited about meat eating. Nino. No, thank you, sir. He was so excited, y'all. And he ate already. And I don't remember him sharing any of it with me. It's funny because since I work around food, it really messes with my appetite. So it just makes me always think I'm hungry, but not hungry. So even when I get food, I don't really want to eat it. And y'all know I love food. So that's so weird for me. No, 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 no. We're not counting either one of you out right now. We're praying for you, Samantha. We're praying for you. Nino. Sorry, y'all know Nino about to have a bark party. Excuse me. Said sorry. Because like I said about the phone, he just waits to, anything to have a bark party so I can keep muting and having all this silent air on my live where I'm just muted because he's having a bark party. But we're definitely keeping you in our prayers, Samantha, and your husband. This too shall pass. I know that's right. I know that's right. I remember my auntie had breast cancer and it was just spreading and it was getting worse and worse. And everybody was so making sure that they enjoyed every moment with her and they thought about her and some was so nervous that they were gonna lose her and she'd be gone and all this. And my uncle ended up passing. Didn't see it coming, never even thought about it. Um, but what it taught me was just enjoy every moment with everyone you love. And then when they cross your mind, don't think about it twice. Just drop a line. Just say hello. Just send a how you doing text. Just send a text. Hey, you was on my mind this morning. Hey, just thinking about you. That's all you can do. Right, that's all you can do. But you just don't know how far that'll get you. Meaning like how much it'll mean to someone else. You never know until you do it. And that'll mean the world to them. That simple. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just I don't know what is he so excited about. It's like somebody gave him sugar, like when you give your kids too much sugar, or somebody else gives your kids too much sugar, and you're like, "Oh my God, they're jumping off the walls." He's running from one side of the room to the other, jumping up, jumping down. I don't know what. I never know what's going on, my baby. You have to let people know you love them. I know someone whose son went out one day to a get together, and he ended up him and his friend. His friend had a Camaro, and the other people had a Camaro, and they decided to race each other. And they might have had Chargers, but whatever they had, I think they had Chargers with Hemis on them. And they raced each other. And anyway, when they raced each other, the car that my friend's son was in the passenger seat, it kind of hit a ditch because at one point went to the side a little bit, and they were like in Arkansas when this happened. But anyway, he hit a ditch, and her son was ejected from the vehicle. And her son, God's grace, is still alive to this day, but he hasn't spoke since that day. He hasn't walked since that day, and that was 2009, around that time. And one of the things she always says that makes her so strong to me is that she's so glad that her son's whole life, every time they left each other, they gave each other a hug, a kiss, and they said how much they loved each other. Because had those not been the last words she heard him say, she doesn't know what she would do. And I just always think, oh my God, the power. The power of love. The power of love will have somebody who's not trying to move their finger to you. They done just had a whole conversation. I remember one day he made a sound and she called me so excited. And I was excited with her because it just let you know that even when they said his voice box was gone, it wasn't because he just made a noise. And that gave you hope. And that made you love on him more and more and more and more. And never forget to think about him. Never forget to pray about him. Never forget. Hold on one second, guys. I'm so sorry. Huh? You all, I'm gonna get ready to wrap this live up because I swear if I'm interrupted one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it on my computer for a few minutes because this on my phone isn't gonna work. And this is just not gonna work. And I hate to leave because we're having such a great conversation, guys. I'm gonna try to stay on. I'm not gonna let things distract me. I'm not. But yeah, that's one of the things why I really cannot wait to get in my own place. I cannot wait to just be able to control my own settings. Even when I stay with my buddy, it would be days I go live and you don't want to in this company or because I know people don't always want to and you don't know how to not have their conversation in the background. I can't mute them and not mute me. They don't understand about copyright and they don't understand that it's social. So they don't think about the things you're gonna think about. They'll play a song right in the background. They'll play a movie right in your background, and they don't think about it because they're not on social media. I didn't think about it. I would have never known that you couldn't play music that was already out. I figured I'm not trying to steal the song, but man, you learn, you live and you learn. I didn't know that if there was something playing in the background, it's a lot you don't know if you're not doing that. But so I try my best to not step on anyone else's toes when I'm filming or recording. Because, like I said, you never know. But when I'm alone, I don't have to worry about anything else but Nino barking because somebody might have breathed or came past and say hello. Who knows? Because it's always Nino, no matter what. He's still going to make some noise. I didn't even realize that I had highlighted that comment. I kid you not, because once again, you're on your phone. So it's like I'm constantly trying to, if I text him, I'm swipe it off my phone. But that's okay. You're at work. Yeah, always. Oh, it's just like when you call everybody. Like, oh, let me call Susan, see what she's doing. Oh, she's busy. Let me call Melissa, see what she's doing. She's busy. Let me call Samantha and see what she's doing. She's busy. And then finally you find something to watch, or you might start washing your hair, or you might run to the store. You're doing something. Then your phone ringing. Here they go. They all ready to talk at the same time. That happens to me all the time. What did you say, Samantha? Oh yes, today is gonna be a great day. And Emma Lou, I want you to definitely have a Queen's Day. To relax, love, celebrate, enjoy. Because I think to myself every time it's my birthday. I don't think about gifts. I don't think about anything. I just think about this is the year. It's gonna be so much different, so much better than the rest because I have new experience, new way of looking at it. I'm evolving. So a birthday is like I don't know, and I just think about the day you were born, and did you know as older I get, I was thinking like, who would have ever imagined when you were little it would have been like this? Then when you got a little older, or some of the pains that you had, but that you're still here, you're still fighting. I'm still good. I still care. You know what I mean? And then I get excited about my birthday. I do. I just get excited. I get excited that once upon a time I didn't even think about living, and now I'm so alive. So for me, I get excited about that because I swear, whenever you've been sick, to anyone who has ever been sick, when you've been sick, And if you've been sick for years, if you got sick over and over again, or whatever it may have been, you always feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna say how I felt. I would always feel like I don't want to get too excited about life because I keep having these ailments. And I just don't want to get excited because I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea if I'm going to make it. I don't have any idea what's it going to do. Is it going to come back? Is it? So you start thinking like that. I do. And so I would just worry. And then I was scared of the doctors because I felt like every time you went in, something was wrong. And it was something that was from birth. It wasn't some of my things like when my first ovary was taken, I told you I was 15. It wasn't even 15. I was 14, probably 13 when everything started. 14. Like I said, it's one big gap. Like I said, all I can tell you for a fact is from 15 until I was pregnant with my son, I only got a period once, twice maybe. And I was doing everything. I was taking birth control to try to get my hormones together. I was, doing all these things to try to shift my body, but at the same time, because I had my other ovary reconstructed, they knew that there was a cyst on it. But I'm just glad they didn't say, you know what, we're gonna just take both of these. And I was so young, so they left me with a half of ovary to give me a chance. And that's why I know that what's for you is for you, because with half of ovary, I had 3 children. With a reconstructed half of ovary, I had 3 children. And so, even when because one of the things I do understand as a woman is the fear of someone telling you could never have children. But when they told me, I was so young, I just thought it was like a past life. Like, okay, can't have children, and I'll just move on from it. Uh, but then when I had my children, I realized that was just a way for me to not, you know, I used to tell myself when I was young, if you never had it, you can't miss it. And so I lived off that so that I never missed nothing I never had. There were so many things I was missing because I still desired them or wanted them, but I just told myself since I never had them, I didn't care about them, but I did. And that became a bad trait for me because then it made me start denying myself things I needed. Like I needed sisterhood. I needed love. I needed to give it, to receive it. I needed words of affirmation. But I used to be like, oh, Pete, I get them. Who cares? You don't need them. If your mom does it, that's enough. You don't need in the world. But I did. I needed people to see me and see that I was good. I needed that. So it was just, it's tripped out, and you learn what you also learn is that, hold on one second, guys. Move, please. Thank you. Go, 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 go. Why didn't you take the car this time? Huh? Oh, I heard nothing. Oh, that's how I knew you was out there. Oh, but yeah, yeah. They helped us all. I mean, especially when all you've been doing is getting words of knock you down, so you're gonna need those. But I used to tell them, I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm not that weak. But it was making me weak not having them. So it was a double-edged sword. Sorry, I had to mute you all. I didn't want to be smacking in your ear. Who was asking Susan questions? Oh, at work, how dare them have her do work at work? Don't they know we have her here laughing and talking with us? Yes. Yeah. It did. It took many years to be happy, you know? And and sometimes you say, "Oh, I just know on my birthday, people gonna call and say happy birthday, and they're gonna do this." Because I always call people. I'm always the type to say happy birthday. I'm always the type on social media, even if you post people I don't know. I'm like, "Happy birthday, happy trip around the sun." I'm always that person. And then it's on your day, and it's like everyone forgot. So I learned to enjoy on my birthday just a new year, like a new start. It feels more like a new start than New Year's Eve feels for me. Like New Year's Eve doesn't give me any feelings of a new start. It gives me feelings of a new year. And that I've learned that even though it's New Year's Eve, it doesn't erase all of last year. It just gives me a new start, a new date. That's it. That's what New Year's Eve is to me. But my birthday, there's something about it when I take that trip around the sun as I get closer to it. So once we hit November 1st, I'm always like, oh my God, in this month, you know, 42 years ago, my mom was sitting, getting ready to have me, and not even knowing that she was going to have two, not one, and not knowing what life was going to offer her. And just thinking about it and thinking that I'm still here. Because sometimes I used to think about the bad and get sad. Now I think about the bad and know how far I made it and how I could have went left, like real left from it. How I could have went so far off the rails that there was no coming back. Do you know that everybody who is in the darkest place that it seems like they can't go out, that wasn't their goal. That wasn't their goal, but they might have made that wrong turn that you could never turn back right to. I remember having a friend, and I remember them making a left turn, and we were right there begging them to go right, and he chose to make the left turn, and it cost him 25 years of his life. you know. And I always would think as the years went on, because there'll be times you don't think about this person at all, honestly. And it's not because they don't exist, it's just because life keeps going and they don't cross your mind like that. And then there's times they just cross your mind out of nowhere. Just you were sitting there and you thought, my goodness, my buddy got locked up when he was 17. I'm turning 30 this year. You thought about it like that. It hits you. It hits you. It hits you when he was getting out and I was turning 40 at the end of that year, and you thought, my God, he's been gone forever. You know what I mean? He's been gone forever. But then that's when it hit you like, oh man, that's because when he went to jail, you were 14 going on 15. And now he's back. So I'm just glad to be alive and not be making decisions that at the end of the night, there's many people that made a decision and everybody said they made it willingly, but they're sitting in jail right now wishing they didn't because they really didn't think it all the way through. Because if they would have thought, man, I got life on this and I'm willing to take it, then that would be on them. But most don't. Oh, but he didn't. He didn't. He didn't forget. He might be surprising you. He didn't. The king never forgets the queen. Even sometimes when we would think, did they forget me? They didn't. They didn't. hmm And sometimes you've been knocked down so long that when people are actually helping you up, you think that they are trying to lift you up just a little bit to push you back down, but they're not. That's not what their purpose is. They are actually the light. They are the light. Like I told you all, when Amber's husband came up on her channel and when he was talking about his ex-wife who died, and he said that he was made to be with her to the end, I thought that was beautiful because you never know. And somebody might just be made to be that light from all that darkness you were in, all that, you know, uh, you know, You never know. You could have been in 80 bad relationships, and there was somebody born one day, and you never even knew them at the time when you were going through all them bad relationships. But they were made for you. They were made to be your knight in shining armor, and they were made to be, and you were made to be their queen. Because there's no way they were made for you, and you weren't made for them. Yes, yes. And we all bring up positivity here. And we're able to, like adults, discuss things and not trash each other and be there for each other. And we uplift each other. And that's how it works. It's not just one. Not one of us could just come here and be positive and the rest be negative and it would bring any kind of positivity. Negative energy has great power. That's why I say I don't allow anybody to come in here with negativity. Like I told you, if my mama was to walk in here, well, she wouldn't. But I'm just using an example of closeness. If my mother was to come in here and come in this chat and be disrespectful, then it's her that gets blocked too. Because no one will come in here and disrupt the kingdom. Because see, people think they come in and I just came in and checked Danny. But they cause a chaos that brings something to everyone in the room. Like I said, if somebody ran up in a party and you was in the middle of the party, they got to screaming aggressively like they were going to do something, it would put everybody's guards up. It wouldn't just be, oh, he came in here for Pookie. No, because if he came in for Pookie and he starts firing off a weapon, bullets don't have no names on them. It's not like the bullet says, oh, Pookie, where's Pookie? I'm looking for Pookie. It doesn't. So when I think about people coming into a room to bring drama and chaos or their negative energy, I have to dismiss them from my room. I have to. I have to. Because, yeah, everybody up in here could give you a good key. Everybody up in here can give you a good check in the key. Everybody up in here can hold their own guards. But we didn't come in here to fight. We didn't come in here to play. We didn't come in here, you know what I mean? Like we didn't come in here to do none of that. We didn't come in here to beat a mass. We didn't come in here to be another part of the problem. We came in here to chill, you know, to kick off our shoes and relax our feet. You know what I mean? We came in here to laugh. We came in here to get a massage. We came up in here to chill in the sauna. We came up in here to go swimming in the pool. We came up in here to shoot some pool. We came up in here to laugh and sit at the bar and talk with each other. We came in here to relax. We came in here to come to each other for advice, words of encouragement. We came in here for love. So at the end of the night, anything that fall under that, we came in here to share recipes. We came up in here to get to know each other a little better. You know what I mean? We came in here to pray for the kids while they going through something. We came in here to pray for somebody whose child's on drugs. We came in here to pray for somebody whose child might be in jail. We came here to pray for somebody whose child is not even here on earth. We came up in here with a purpose. With a purpose. That's what I tell people. All the people who tell me their life so bad and you want to sit in misery, then you must enjoy that. Stop being used to the bad. Stop being so used to everything wrong. And every time somebody says something, all you're thinking about is what you could say that's make them wrong. I'm gonna tell you something. If I'm always trying to catch somebody in a lie, it's because I'm a liar. And I don't believe nobody because I'm always lying. And people believe me. Because let me tell you something about a liar. When a liar is believed by everybody, they don't believe nobody because they think all these people believe me and I just sold them bullshit. All these people trust me and I'm lying through my teeth. But what most liars don't know is half the people that you're lying to, they know you're lying. And they actually want to see when you going to stop lying to them. When you going to, you know what I mean, when something going to follow. You ever had somebody going to tell you something, every time they going to tell you something good going on, but it never happened? Because they're lying. It was never in the, works. It was never, you know what I mean? Oh, Samantha. And wait, not just hear my voice, my soothing voice, but to also hear, soothing barks of nothing. Me, let them roll that cart down the hallway. They not messing with you, boo. They not. They can make noise. It's okay. It's okay for people to make noise. No, don't you shake your head. No, yes, it is. Oh, he's so sassy. He's just so sassy. Hey, Tina. Hey, my sis. Tina, I went to say good morning to you this morning and never pushed send. And I saw that before I came. I got to send the one that says good afternoon. Because I was trying my best, y'all, not to to send out text messages at 3 o'clock in the morning, like good morning. But why is she up this early? And why is she saying good morning when I'm asleep? So I had a lot of good mornings just sitting on the thing. But like I said, once I fell asleep at 5 and I woke back up, I forgot that I had typed good morning all in everybody's text. And then all I had to do was push send. I was like, I'm telling y'all, because everything got threw off. Oh, man. And then there's some people that'll sit around and say to you, like, how could things have been so bad and you had the nerve to be happy, man? Because I've been mad for so long. It didn't change nothing. It didn't change nothing. It just made everything else around me even worse. It brought more negative people around me with their negative energy. It brought more, you know what I mean? Mm-mm, mm-mm. And it was spreading faster than the cancer could. I mean, it was just that bad. So no, thank you. No, thank you. And I think about all the things I missed out on. When I tell you all about my buddy who passed during the pandemic, who I still have not really accepted the fact that he's gone because one, we didn't go to his funeral. And so it makes it seem like he's just out of town or he's just somewhere. And when I'm reminded is when I sometimes go to send him a text. Something happens that I know he would be a part of. But anyway, I think of the last 8 months he was alive. And I think about how I had so much going on in my house and so much going on in my life that one day he had called me and was talking about come out there to hang out. And I thought, well, I can't do that because there's too many people in my house. I'm not going to go. I'll catch him later. And in the last 3 months he was alive, I didn't even talk to him. And I just think of if you weren't so caught up in all that negative, I could have enjoyed my last 8 months with my buddy. Now there is no more. And the day I went to see him, that's what I told him when I was telling him, no matter what, I love your son just like I've loved him this whole time. I'll never forget you. I enjoy it. And I was telling him all of that. One of the things that'll still break me when I think of what I said to him is when I told him, man, I wish this wasn't how we end this. I wish this wasn't the last conversation we had. So once you think like that during the pandemic, losing people and watching things happen and all the things that went on, it just made me say, I'm no longer wasting time. I'm no longer, if people want to be miserable and stay in there, I have to leave them there. I have to. But here's the thing, you could stand, I've done it. You could stand and be like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I don't even know who I was. And I can't even explain it. People ain't taking that neither. So that you just sitting around begging, holding on, begging for them to forgive me. But I've learned that when you get that strong, because once I got that deep in my thing, the truth of the matter is, it was me I couldn't forgive. But it felt so much easier to keep putting the blame on somebody because my daddy did this. Y'all don't know what my mama did because my mama had did this. And y'all don't know what them teachers did because them teachers did this. And y'all don't know what my baby daddies did because my baby daddies did. Then you start asking yourself, why did you do that? Why did you do this? Why didn't you get up and go? Why? So I started asking myself. And the person I realized I was mad at was me. I wasn't as mad at them people no more. So some people that it seems like I'm over it with them, it's just I don't hold that harbor that hate no more. And I had to forgive them for me. I had to forgive them for me so I could move on. Some of us sitting around and the person who SA'd you is living life fantastic. They done got married, they got promotions in their job, they living fantastic. Nobody would ever believe what you said about them anyway. And you sitting around, you don't have a relationship, you can't trust a man, you living in silence, you live terribly, you treating everybody evil, you won't get, you lost. You lost yourself, you lost your innocence, everything was lost for you. So I got to forgive them so I could move on. I ain't got to be friends with them. You ain't got to get up every morning praying. You don't have to. But when I think of people talking about keeping your enemies closer, they better be in prayer because I'm not keeping them close no other kind of way. I'm not hanging with my enemy. I don't kick it with my enemy. I don't mess with people who are around talking about me to other people, but in my face smiling. I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that because that shit is toxic. And y'all know what toxic do. Sorry, what to say? So I almost choked. Hey, paranormal. Hey, sis. Oh, we hope you are having a great day. How's work going? I hope good. Thank you for dropping in while you're at work to say hello to us, sis. And have a great day. I hope you're having a great day. How the kids doing? Hope you're having a great day at work. Oh yeah. You're doing it, Tina. You're doing it. That's what you thankful for your blessings. I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Even when I tell y'all, like, oh man, I wish I could have, even if I did parenting over, I still would have been a kid having kids. So I still would have had to grow up before I could learn to be a good parent. That's a fact. So even to the young adults having children, if you haven't grown up, you're not going to be a good parent till you grow up. And so do it fast. Because otherwise, that time going to keep ticking on the kids watching you not grow up. And they're not going to understand that y'all growing up together until way later. And so even when I think of that, I think about how had I never had children, I know I would have been dead. I would have gave up. I would have ended everything because I wouldn't have had anything I cared about, you know, because I couldn't see past anything. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So everything has a purpose and a reason. hmm But yeah, Tina, how are you feeling? You are what? Almost 2 months? Are you at 2 months yet? About 7 weeks out of surgery? How are you doing? Because you are really doing good, sis. You are doing great. And going to school. Wow. And it's so good when you're able to work and go to school, especially, when you're a single mom or, it's just so hard, because you really got to choose one. And many of the times, like, so, I think I told you all before, I did bad in school. I have learning curves. I'm dyslexic, you know what I mean? So there were times I did bad in school. But when I was at Westwood, I was an honor roll student. I was doing great. I was actually retaining and enjoying. I actually had good study habits. I actually was really in it. But one of the things that made me sad was there was no way for me to work and go to school. I couldn't. And so I lived with my mom and I went to school. And then I got a work study job. So, they get you a little change, but ain't nothing big like that. But yeah, I had a little work study job, but I couldn't do both. And so, as things would go on, and then I wanted to move, I wanted to move and get into a place, and that involves you having money. So I end up doing was leaving school. I suggest to anyone, if you're in school and you have to work, take some online classes. If there's a class you think you might struggle with, make that the class you go in on and try to maybe see if it has a Saturday class or it might be a night class. And on that day, you might have to just get off work a couple of hours early. And instead of being at work at 7, now I'm in my class from 5 to 7. So I still get home at the same time. But you just have to make that way. And remember, never stop following your dreams. Never let nothing stop you. I feel like one day I put my life on pause and it paused so long that to me it wasn't even paused. It was just where it was supposed to be, and it wasn't because it was just staying stagnant. It wasn't going anywhere at all. Oh yeah, because all the kids start going back to school like next week, right? I think schools start going back in the middle of August, and then yeah, by September everybody's back in school. Now sometimes I forget that, but I remember like, oh, the school list, and oh, it's always something, always something. Yes, always get your rest because your body needs it. And one thing about our body is if we don't do it when we're supposed to, it'll make you do it. It'll sit you down. It'll slow you down. It'll stop you right in your tracks. It'll do just that for you. It'll say, wait a minute now. I'm trying to figure out why you why you think I don't need no sleep. I'm trying to figure out why you think we could just keep going. 7 weeks. Yes. Yeah, you miss it when it's gone. It's a parent right now so flustered because they're trying to work or go to school, work and go to school and get the kids ready and keep the house in order and do all these things. And sometimes, like I said, you could be the greatest parent in the world and some days feel like no one appreciates anything I do. But you are doing a job. that all real parents, all good parents are gonna do one day in their life. And you'll know it. You'll know that you did. And always tell yourself, if I can do the best that I can do, that's what I can do. And when we do the best, it just makes you want to do better. So you just got to do the best. Because when you start beating yourself up, you won't do anything. Because you'll say to yourself, I know I said to myself, it's not good enough anyway. It's not going to be enough anyway. You're never going to be able to make them happy anyway. And you won't. Because you'll already have yourself down there. So don't live. Let's be alive. Okay, you gotta go pick them up. Oh, that's what we were just talking about earlier, paranormal. I don't even know if you were on here listening then, but we were talking about like when you drop the kids off and you think you're gonna do some errands or get some stuff done, and you look up, it's time to go pick them up, and don't let them have some after school program or anything else to do. Then you got to get to that, and don't let you have to go to work, and you just really came from work to pick them up just to drop them off at daycare. Then you had to set up for somebody else to get them from daycare because you might not have been able to get them from daycare, or my kids went to school in a town called Westchester. They went to daycare in Westchester. I worked in Chicago on the west side. And I got off of work, I told you all, with not 30 minutes in rush hour to go pick them up from the other side of town. And I couldn't get off any earlier because once upon a time, companies just didn't really seem to care. If none of your bosses were like parents, and even if they were, they bottom line was the business. They didn't really care. And some jobs will tell you, like, hey, if your kid's that important, then you need to get home. And you know what I tell any job say that you are. Show you right, Ray Ray. Show you right. Show you right. I remember my kids were in Catholic school and they used to call my job all the time. It would make me so mad because I would beg them, if you need to call about my kids, please call my cell phone because every time you call my job, it interrupts my job. You know what I mean? It's better for me. I could step outside. I could step off the floor. You know what I mean? But once you call and they gotta have the cashier come get me off the floor and da da dee dee, you know, it's embarrassing. You know. And one day my boss in the back said to me, it sounds like you can't control your children. So it sounds like you should be at home. I never in my life been so embarrassed. Like, who the fuck? Marianne, you know I had to drop it. I made it almost through this whole live without the F word. But you know, when I gotta keep it real, I gotta say just what I was thinking. Who the fuck says that? Do you think I walk up in here and go, today let this teacher call, then they gonna call back in about 30 minutes? I mean, because sometimes I get that. I get a call at maybe 11, I get a call at 1. So now you whisper in the job. And I literally tell school, like, you have my cell number. It's a direct number to me. If you call it, it's my kid's school. I'm answering it. I'm Marianne. I see the eyes. I told you since I almost made it. I almost made it out. I almost made it out. You know, I know you hear that door opening and closing, so I know you know. Now look, now I need no ready to jump up and go outside because you keep hearing me go out that door. He said, I need to go out there and bark at somebody. I need to go and bark at somebody. No, sir. No, sir. But I'm telling you, there's a whole family camping outside. In the parking lot. And I'm not knocking, but at least they have a trailer. But they are camping, so they're like literally lawn chairs out on the side. I think he had a little grill out. I don't know. I don't know. I just let them live and live their best life ever. Because that's all I'm trying to do. And see, one thing you learn is when you try to live your best life, you can't annoy me trying to live your best life. You can annoy me trying to disrupt my best life ever. Because it might seem you like I shouldn't be happy, but I know why I need to be happy. Because I'm done being mad. I'm done being sad. I'm done being angry. I'm done fighting. I'm done arguing. I'm done swinging. I'm done. I'm done. You've been in a million fights and ain't won a belt yet. You know what I mean? You know, you're not. What did you win? Oh, mother. Oh, you know what Mother Nature say? She hot. She even hot. She said, I don't know. It's hot for me too. Right, I almost made it, Mary. I almost made it right out of this live. But when I get to talking about how people used to act about you, or here's something that people used to say that used to bother me so bad. If you only had a husband, it would be okay. Honey, I know people with a husband and a man, and the woman still running and doing everything with the school that is today. I know some husbands that don't know the teacher's name. To be honest with you, because you know what he is? He's a provider. He's not the one at the school. He's not the one sitting there doing homework all night. He's not that one. But they say that. I say, who says this to somebody? Who? So, and when I ended up giving them my 2 week notice, well, it was a lot of people, but I literally sat inside of HR and I told them I had cancer and it was easier than going through this, feeling degraded about my relationship, feeling degraded about my children. I refuse to sit here. You know what I mean? Like, I kid you not, they would do things like the phone ring, like, I bet lunch. I'm gonna buy lunch for you if that's Danny's kids' school. That's embarrassing. And to do that to somebody is wrong. I wouldn't do. I don't care if I worked with you and you worked for me. Forget I worked with you. If you worked for me and your kid's school called every day, you know what I would say to you? I'd say, you know what? How about today? You go pop up on them. You know what I mean? Don't even worry about calling them back. Just go head up to the store. Because I know as a parent, there's a part of you that wants to just quit your job right now and take your ass right up to that school. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't miss that part of school life at all. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't miss arguing with teachers because they think they're gonna tell you what kind of parent you are about your. You're not gonna tell me a thing. And so that used to be a big fight. Or I've had teachers tell me like, "Oh, well, you're so young, no wonder." What? What? Who are you? So people belittled you so much. It got to a point that I didn't even want to be at my kids' school. I didn't care what was going on. It was a basketball game. It was an assembly because just embarrassed, just being embarrassed. I don't miss that at all. I don't miss that at all. I don't miss the judgment at a doctor's office of being a single. I don't miss any of that. I don't miss any of that shit. Yeah, this heat is bad. It's bad. I feel like I talk to my people in Georgia, they're hot. I talk to my people in Texas, they're burning up. I talk to people in Florida, they burning up. I'm like, man, I'm talking to people in other places, and they still hot. I'm like, I'm so glad Illinois hasn't got super stuck with it, but August is always our month, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just got a bunch of hot days. Now we're supposed to be hot from tomorrow, I think until Saturday. I think it's supposed to be in the hundreds for the next like 4 or 5 days or 3 or 4 days. But I know one thing. I work today. I work today. I'm off. Um, I'm off tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. I go back Sunday, but Saturday I'm going to see my auntie. And so, but other than that, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to be out there in that heat. And even when I go see my auntie, at least I'll be in the car because just standing on the bus stop. Oh, when I hear women having children at 50, I think to myself, God bless you, because you got obviously what you wanted. But auntie, I couldn't do it, sweetie. I can't do this thing all over again. I mean, you probably would do it better because you know better. You're in a different mental space. Everything else, I just can't do it again. It's because it's a lot. Society is too much. They're too much. They are too much. That's why women hide pregnancies. That's why women lie about who their children's fathers are because of what society is gonna say. Like it's too much. And society will keep their knee so deep in your neck. And I hate to use it as an example, but you will feel the joy. Like they will have their knee in. I mean, I'm telling y'all, I remember my doctor, I had a doctor, a great doctor named Dr. Eddie when I had my children. And I remember she was the type of doctor that when people would be belittling you, because I had 3 children, I wasn't married, and I wasn't 21, and they'd be belittling you. And I remember one day her coming out of her office and checking a bitch. I mean, I said, my doctor done came out. She said, oh, no, you won't because people just think they can say anything to you. And that's why I never did like housing with this government. I never did child support. I never did anything because I felt like everybody thinks that you just want to have these kids to get all these tools from the government. They want to believe you did it just because of this, and you willing to do it. So I just never did none of that stuff because I'm like, oh no, I'll take food. I'll take food from them. You know what I mean? Because everybody who get food ain't poor, But for some reason, if you're doing anything else, you're poor. Anything. And so I just was like, I don't want anything from the state. I'd rather go out there and hustle. I'd rather, and then, but at the same time, I was one of those parents who said, my kids' dads aren't around, and so if I end up in jail or dead, then they have no parent. And I refuse to let it be that. Is Danny coming back? Wait, you all can't hear me? Wait, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? I'm just sitting here running my mouth. It is. One of the blessings of having my children young is that I'm at an age where I can still have a life. You can still rebuild your life. Okay, you all can't hear me. I'm just making sure because I'm like, they said, wait, when is Danny coming back? I said, wait, where'd I go? I just had the camera off because when you're on the phone, you feel like the camera is directly in your face. I just don't like that. I feel like I'm like up in the camera because also I'm trying to read the comments too. So it's like I'm trying to read the comments. I'm trying to I'm trying to talk, so it's easier on the phone to just turn the camera off. But yeah, having your kids, I mean, to me, you have your children when it's your time, and there's nothing else to it. Period. Point blank. If you think every person 30 and over, or just because they're married, is a great parent, you are a fool. If you think everybody who just because they stayed with their baby daddy or their baby mama that they are la la love and happy, you are believing in fairy tales. Happiness starts within. So if somebody's not happy, they can tell you, "Oh, I'm not happy because my mama ain't shit. I ain't happy because this man used to treat me like this. I ain't happy because my daddy was never there." But the truth of the matter is, they're so unhappy. They're gonna do unhappy stuff with you. They're gonna not show that kind. They're not gonna show you. You could be having the greatest moment with them. They're gonna have a straight face. They're gonna look evil. You know them people that no matter what you're doing, you always gotta ask them, "What's wrong? You okay? What's wrong?" Because they always look like they pissed. Always. Those are people who will swear that they happy. They'll tell you later, like, man, I was so happy that day we did this. And you'll be thinking, I was there with you that day and I couldn't tell you was happy at all. Matter of fact, remember how you wouldn't eat? Remember how you wouldn't talk to nobody? And everybody, they'll tell you how happy they was that day. And you'll be thinking, what is your idea of happy? Because happy ain't acting like that. You had your first one at 24. You had your eighth child at 36. I heard that. You had all of them in 12 years. I know that's right. But see, one of the best parts, because people used to make fun of that for me because my kids were close to age. They started saying, "Oh, you just like being on your back. Oh, you just like you thought, whoa." First of all, that's so disrespectful because that's another way of saying somebody's a whore because they have several children. And that's so wrong. When the reality is, if I have 3 children, I could have just had sex 3 times in my life. That's the truth. But you decided that now is my whole life. I lived on my it just like I said, when you think of that. So when you talk about that time, Tina, I'm like, oh, I know. I know how people are. They always got something to say. Always got something to say. And then you can have 8 kids by the same man. And people say, oh, that was a lot on that man. I don't know how he stayed. Wasn't he good for staying with her? You be thinking, oh my God, do you ever win? Tina, what wait, hold on. Is Danny not coming back? Coming back to what? Tina coming back to what, sis? I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Coming back to what? I love being. Well, yeah. And then you go through phases. You go through phases. Right? I was like, where did I go, Tina? That's what, look, Tina is the one got me on here asking, like, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? When I pop on, can you see me? Does not Tina not hear me? But yeah, and that's the best part about it. I mean, then they go through phases. I mean, like I said, had my mother stopped loving me when I was going through, then she wouldn't love me now as I came out. You know what I mean? As you come out of things. Wait, no, I'm still here, Tina. I am still here. That's why I'm like, you all can hear me, right? You can't hear me talking to you, can't you? Yeah, I was gonna log on to my computer, but I just was like, you know what? Nino's actually sitting. Look, y'all. Oh, look at this old. He's right there. He's, he's right. It is. Yeah, my phone kept ringing. That's why I was like, let me come off here because I kept getting, it kept ringing. But I think finally it might have said, you know what, let's leave her alone for a little while. She's just chilling with her fam. She's chilling with the sis. She's just hanging out. But like I said, we have to grow. I went years thinking, oh, I can't stand women because when you talk about the biggest people to beat you up, I knew women, like grown women when I was young having kids, and they would have so much to say. But then you hear about their life and be like, wait a minute, you went through all that, and the best advice you could give me was to beat me up. You would thought you would have gave me some better advice than what people gave you when they beat you up. But it seemed like that's what a lot learn to do. Oh no. Oh, Samantha asked me a question. Oh yeah, Samantha. I am working. Yes, I'm working now. So I had went to get a gyro a couple of weeks ago, and I went to a restaurant I've been going to over by where I lived at when we moved west. I went to the restaurant I've been going to since I was like 13 years old, and he asked me was I still at the hotel, and I said yes. He said, "Well, that's a lot of money coming out." I said, "Who you telling?" And he said that he wanted me to fill out an application and I could come work some hours, and that way at least I'd have some money coming in, and it would help with the money going out. And so, because of my eye and I've just applied for disability, I'm not working more than 20 hours. And right now, 20 is like really a lot. And so I'm going to cut that down. No, thank you, sir. No, thank you. He just literally was about to sit on. What is he doing? He lived. I mean, he came up here and just climbed on top of me to sit down. Like he doesn't weigh 60 pounds. No, thank you, sir. You weigh way too much to sit on top of somebody. And now he looking at me like, what? What's wrong with sitting on top of you? What's wrong with loving you that I want to get that close? That's what he might as well have been saying. I just wanted to get that close. I wanted to wear your skin for me. Oh, Tina, have a good day, sis. Love, love to you, sis. Have a great day. Right, Miriam. Like, he just, because at first I thought he was about to sit next to me because he had got down. He came back, and I thought he was about to sit down right next to me. And then I said, wait, hold on. And then as soon as his whole body went to life, I said, wait a minute. No, he's about to sit on you. I can't, y'all. I can't in Nino world. I can't. I can't. Super Nino, right. Right. Y'all already know how he gets down. If he not on there jumping into the camera, he barking at the people outside. If he not doing that, he drooling while he bagging. I mean, y'all know Nino. Y'all know him already. Have a great day, Tina. I'm telling you. That's why I was like, oh no. Then he looked he looked back with those brown eyes like I had did something wrong. Right. He's a lap dog. Right. He weighs way too much to be a lap dog. I told you all when he was a puppy, I used to carry him around like a newborn baby, rubbing his head and patting him on his back. And sometimes I think he thinks I could still pick this whole dog up and carry. No, no, I do not want to have to carry him anywhere. He does. He does. I'm telling you. He said, wait a minute, you keep talking to your family and sits on online. Let me sit on top of it because I'm tired of it. He's something else. He is. He is so. I just told the guy. He said, "I'm so scared of your dog because his bark." And I said, "Oh well, I have him. He's just very overprotective. I mean, just that's it." So, and like I said, he's not the type that if he's out using the bathroom, you come walking up from behind. He's gonna be like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's gonna be like, "Who in the rippity riff?" Yes, and today I put up the music head question was Whitney Houston or who did I put? Oh, Mariah Carey. I did Whitney and Mariah because this morning when I was up, I actually went to turn on my Pandora earlier, and "One Sweet Day" by Mariah Carey is on. I love that song so much. And then, like a couple of songs later, Whitney came on, and then it put me in a Whitney Mariah kind of mood. And so I was back and forth in their music. And when I was, I said, "Oh my goodness." I love these two women. I just think about when I was a kid, everybody at their graduation song that Whitney Houston song. And dang it, what's the name of it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But it was like the most popular song. Then by the time I graduated from eighth grade, we were singing Beauty and the Beast. Wait, did we sing Beauty and the Beast? No, no, we didn't. We sang the song from Aladdin. That's what we sung at my eighth grade graduation, was the songs from Aladdin. And you know what's so funny in that song? They say, songs as old as time. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, beauty. When I was young, I used to literally say, Serpent, snark, and schnine. Snark and snark and schnine. These aren't even real words. So to this day, when I'm listening to Beauty and the Beast and they're like, songs as old as time, I'm like, snark and snark and schnine. Oh yeah, Susan, I know, and that's what's funny, Susan. I thought about you when I was putting the question. That's how Susan's gonna say Whitney Houston because we've had when we've talked music on here before. You said many a times how much you love Whitney, but I kid you not, it was like I just, that's how I usually pick the music head questions. I'll hear a song, and then when another artist I hear, and then they kind of remind me of a same era, or just and then I'm in La La Love. And one of the best parts for me is every time I put two artists on, I have mad respect for both. So there's never a way to lose in it to me. So it's like, yo, there's no losing in this. It's really just your choice. And I always answer it with my answer for the day. Because you might ask me tomorrow and it'd be Mariah's day. You know what I mean? I never know what tomorrow will bring, but that's why I always say, so for today, it's this person. So I definitely oh the music, y'all. The music. Music is my life. It is the words of my heart. It is what lets me know how we can all connect, no matter what race, no matter what gender, no matter what your sexuality is, no matter what your physical is. That music is something in that music, man. Right, but Malou, I feel like when you mess up words and people around, I feel like everybody noticed it. You ever been listening to your headphones and singing a song, and then you say like the wrong word, and you think that everybody noticed it because they might know the word to the song and be like, "Hey," because sometimes there's some songs that I do know every word because back in the day when we were so censored and you had to have your phones on earphones and everything else, and music was so censored, I spent a lot of time just listening to every word. So that's how you learn the ad libs. That's how you knew the breakdown. That's how you knew when that song was coming on and the bass line dropped. You knew all of it because you sat and listened. And back in the day, even on the radio, they would play a song in its entirety. Nowadays, sometimes they cut the song off, and you know for a fact it got about 2 more minutes of the song left. And you like, they just ended when the verses ended. Yes, music. Music. Some days I'm like, I need some sad music because and I just need to feel it, let this feeling out and go. Some days I'm like, let's get charged. Some days I'm crunk. Some days I never know, but music tells me. I know by the music I put on for the day how I'm feeling. So like, I did a short the other day, and I used somewhere out there from American Tail. And when me and my sister were young, one of the things we thought that was so beautiful about the movie was how him and his sister would be singing at the same time to the same moon. Because when I was young, as silly as this may sound, I used to think there was a moon for every state. Like every state had its own moon. And it wasn't until watching that movie, I was probably about 8. that I realized there was one moon and there was one sun. And though they rose and set at, where we could see them in different places at different times, there was only one. There was only one, and that it was constantly moving around this here world. And I always loved that song. And so it always reminded me of like when people you loved weren't close. That hopefully, if anything, we were just wishing on the same bright stars and you know what I mean? So that song was so powerful. And then when I lost people, I thought, wow, I hope that when I'm talking to the moon or I'm looking to the sun, if they are looking to that same thing and just that'll connect us again. So I felt that way. But then yesterday, when I was explaining that to Marianne in the comments about how that's how I feel, and I was listening to the song as I was typing, I realized, wow, it also makes me think about you guys and how some of us are so far apart from each other that we actually do think about each other and pray for each other and send good vibes to each other and uplift each other. And I just think how beautiful that is. And so it kind of gave me a new meaning of the song too. And it reminded me of you guys and just the love y'all have for each other and the love that we're trying to bring to the world. And even if we were wrong before, we're trying to be right. Wait, you could hear the tiny kid in meowing. Hmm. Yeah, and sometimes, let me tell you, Samantha, sometimes it's just that you've made a word in your head and I can't take it out. So here's one. So New Edition has a song, and then in the part of it they say, "Hey girl, I'm begging. I made a big mistake." Okay, that's what they say. So they say, "Hey girl, I'm begging." You know, nice the things they say. "Hey girl, I'm pregnant." And one day my buddy said, "How is Rock Van pregnant?" I said, "Huh?" Because I never thought about it. But for years, since I was a kid, I have been saying, "Hey girl, I'm pregnant." And then and then there was another song by New Edition. Well, it's by Bill DeVoe. And he said, "Yo, slick blow." When I was a shorty in Poison, in the song Poison, I thought he said, "Yo, spit blow." And I thought, oh, what a nasty name for his name to be Spit, but whatever. And to this day, there's times where my mouth will literally form up to say, "Yo, spit." And it's like, girl, he say slick. So sometimes we just get the wrong words stuck in our mind. Don't you remember, Samantha, when we were younger and you got a CD or a record and you read the words? That's how you do them? Because you would go and read each word to each song. And that's how nowadays I'm like, hold on, Google me them words. Google, Google, what is he saying line to? Because I told y'all, I took David Chappelle to do that little skit and find out that on Good Times, he say, hang it in a child line. Cause I'm not gonna lie, when I used to sing that song on Good Times, I'd be Good Times. I didn't know what they were saying, and it's like, oh, hanging in a child line. Oh, is that what they're doing? Ain't we lucky we got 'em? Good time. So Samantha, please, it's still songs I'm getting wrong to this day, and I know the words, girl. Don't get me started. Don't you get me started, sis. Don't you? Because I'll admit it. Because somebody I know will tell me, like, oh, Danny, come on, you still say your spit blow, girl. And you've been saying that since 1992. I can't with myself, y'all. I can't. I can't. But you all, I'm going to get ready to wrap this on up. I have enjoyed laughing and joking with you all. And I plan to do some uploads today. So I plan to make a couple of little uploads. I haven't done some uploads in a while. I think the last uploads I did is when I was talking about the whole kangaroo situation. So I definitely want to drop some uploads today. I definitely plan to drop a couple of shorts today. Um, Hit that community wall again. I actually put a couple of things on the community wall, but I didn't want to put too much on because I didn't want anybody to miss that today is Emma Lou's birthday, and we're definitely sending our sister love. Please, if you have August birthdays, let us know, please, because we don't want to miss nobody. We made a trip around the sun. We want to definitely acknowledge and give love to each other. Because money can't buy love. And so if you got it, we're gonna give it. We're gonna give it out. We're giving out that love. And I also, it's my appreciation day for me. It's my appreciation day, the third of every month. So I figured if I put too much on my community wall, you might miss the things that I want you to mostly see today. And I want you to definitely give the roses to my moms, give the roses to Emma Lou. It's her birthday and it's my day. So she gets a double bubble on this community wall today. But yeah, so I definitely want to do that. But I definitely plan to drop some shorts today. I want to drop at least an upload or two. That's my goal for the day. And depending if it rains and it's super slow, you might just get a unexpected, unwarning live with me just at work doing absolutely nothing. So you never know. You never know how you'll catch me. But if not, I will see you all tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a great and fantastic day. Thank you all for coming in here and showing love to me, showing love to each other. Thank you for sending out good vibes to each other, good energy to each other, loving on each other. Thank you. Thank you for shining your lights in here. It made the whole room brighter. Um, and I really appreciate that. So have a great day, and I will see y'all later. Because y'all know me, even at work, you might catch me in somebody else's chat. So so I will see you, and happy birthday, Emma Lou. Please enjoy that crown all day today. And remember, all day on anybody's birthday, just remember that song. It's my party. I cry if I want to. That don't mean cry. That means have some fun. And if you are crying, let them be tears of joy. Let them be tears of joy. But have a great day, everyone. Love you all, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, and Nino says, see you later. Bye-bye. What up, Tenna Kate? Tenna Kate. What up, sis? Make sure I didn't miss nobody on my way. I didn't even see you come in. Oh, sorry. I was look at me reading these last statements. I didn't want to make sure I didn't want to miss anything. Oh, Tennekee's about to go live. Let's go over there and check out Sis, see what she's talking about, because she never goes this early. So I wonder what's. Ooh, she's doing flowers in the attic. Oh yeah, we got to get over there, y'all. We got to get over there and get and send the roses for the flowers in the attic. I'm there. I'm there. All right, guys. Until next time. Love you. See ya.